Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see this time we are going to check fresh release from AZmodel. So it is modeled in 1/72 scale and it copies Kingfisher Mk.I. This particular boxing will let you copy the FAA and RAN markings, and now we have a commercial sample, so it means you will get exactly the same stuff as what you will see in this video review. So first of all, box size here is typical. Here you can see comparison with my hand. We have quite nice box art on the front, and then here on the side we have some safety information. On the other side we have one of the markings which are included here, but I guess yes, here we have all three marking options which are coming with this kit. So as you can see, we have aircraft from Sandbanks 1943, also another aircraft which is not dated, and here 1946, 1947. So let's open it and check what is included inside. This is a side opening box, and here's what we have inside. By the way, box is quite thick, I would say, so it should provide some protection to the kit. Okay, so all frames are packed into the same plastic bag. Let's open it. Okay. In the meantime, don't forget that you can support us financially. It is quite easy to do. We have a special donate button on our website, so you can just press it, and it is done via PayPal, so you will be redirected to the PayPal gate and you will be choosing how much you will get for new photo and video equipment. So first of all, decals left here, so we are going to start with decals. Here they are. So decals are printed in quite nice quality, I would say, but note that we do not have any symbols for the cockpit. So if you would like to detail the cabin, you will have to do it with your own hands or maybe buy some aftermarket set. Otherwise it will be almost basic, maybe. Okay, next we have separate plastic bag with canopy, so let's open it. Here it is. So canopy is molded as a one-piece part. It looks quite nice, I would say. As you can see, plastic clear and crisp. The only thing you need is mask set, because masks are not included here, so either you buy some aftermarket set or you have to cut them with your own hands. Next we go on with first gray plastic sprue. So let's zoom out a bit. Here you can see it. So here we have fuselage halves, also we have top wing halves, and also some external and internal elements. For example, here you can see floats, tail wings, landing gear wheels, and note that wings are molded together with ailerons and flaps. Fuselage is molded together with tail segment and rudder, so you have to be careful while joining all this stuff together. Let's flip it over. Here inside you can notice that wing parts do not have any guiding elements inside. It might be a bit tricky to join all those elements together. The same can be said about fuselage halves. As you can see, there are also no guiding elements, but still at least we have some internal detailing inside, so it will be visible through the canopy. Even though canopy is not openable, still it takes quite a large portion of the aircraft, so once you install all the clear parts, internal elements will be visible through them. Next we have second and the last gray plastic sprue. Here it is. So this one is dedicated to main float, let's say, and also to wing halves again. We also have cowling parts, so cowling should be glued out of two halves, engine parts, dashboard or instrument panel here, one-piece pilot seat, and for example bomb here. So molding quality looks fine, but you can see a small amount of flash here and there. For example, on the engine you can notice it easily. It can be solved with sharp knife, but I mean, still you have to clean it. It's not that difficult, but be ready for this. Thin parts look fine, so it should be relatively easy to separate them. As for the floats, again, floats do not feature any guiding elements inside, so be ready for this. This is a bit tricky stuff to do, and again, the same applies to the wing parts. Engine is more or less, I would say, okay for 1/72 kit. If you would like to have more, I think it is possible to get resin aftermarket for this kit and install it. Of course, it will require some more skills, let's say, from you, because otherwise these are resin sets they require some trimming and I would say cutting. So if you are not ready for this, do not get resin, because otherwise you won't be pleased with the result. But overall I think it should be fine kit for those who have some experience. But let's check the assembly manual in order to understand what we have to do in this kit. So, assembly manual is printed in form of this simple brochure. It is color printed. We have short history note here, also parts map, paints chart, and also the legend of the various signs. Once again, it's a small reminder that kit is molded in 1/72 scale. Then we go on with assembly process, and here we have quite interesting options. So first of all, we assemble the gun turret, and you have to decide whether you want the double machine gun version or you want the single one. As you can see, it applies to several steps, so you have to decide whether you would like to have it on your aircraft or not. Next we continue with engine cowling. So again I remind that you can get the resin engine, but be careful while joining those cowling halves, because as you can see you will have the seam in the middle, or join line in the middle, and you will have to sand it, otherwise it will be a bit ugly result, let's say. Here we continue with fuselage halves. So let's zoom out a bit so that you can see whole step. So with fuselage halves, don't forget to install the instrument panel. As you remember, there are no decals for the instrument panel, so should be ready for this. And the same applies for the cockpit. I mean, as you can see, there are not that many parts. It is 1/72 scale, I can admit it, but some modelers would like to see more, and that's when you resort to the P parts and other stuff. Next we continue with floats. So floats, as you remember, the main float, it is joined out of two halves. And here we have wing assembly process, so it should be glued out of two halves each wing. And again I remind that ailerons and flaps, they're molded in, so you have to live with it. There are no additional sets which will make it possible to retract the flaps. Here we have additional side flaps, actually not flaps but floats, and again you have two versions. Actually that's an assembly process for the float, and then you install the float onto the wing. And next we have bombs attachment. So bombs will be attached on the special rails, just like on the real aircraft. Here we install the canopy parts. So canopy parts looked fine, but again I remind you that you will need masks for this. And again you also need the metal wire, as far as I can see, because it will replicate the antenna in the front of aircraft. Here we install special wheels on the sides of the floats. Next we go on with... these are actually main wheels. So these are main landing gear wheels, as far as I can guess, for the version without float, without the main float. So if you would like to copy this or this version, it will be your decision, but both parts for both versions are included, so you will be free to choose whether you wanted to see it on the normal wheels, let's say, or you want to see it on the main float, which will be assembled out of two halves. Both versions should be good looking models in my opinion, and I think it will be relatively easy to assemble for those who have some experience behind their backs. Once again I remind that here we have the marking guide, which is printed in color. As you can see, it's the rear side of the box. And here we have only 3 marking options, but that's a 1/72 scale kit, so there is no surprise. And I think it's more than enough for such release. And decals looked fine, so I think it will be easy to apply. But it's a shame that we do not have the cockpit decals included, at least seat belts, so you will have to replicate them with masks, or actually masking tape, or maybe even with dry brush method for the instrument panel, and then maybe you will get a more or less nice result. Also another option to search for some PE upgrade for the different plastic but for the same aircraft, and then you will have also quite a interesting cockpit. So as I said, this is a commercial sample. It should be already available for purchase. You can get it on official AZmodel website or any good model shop. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about such kit here in the comment section below. If you like this video, don't forget to press the like button because it helps us greatly. You can also press the subscribe button so that you won't miss any new video release. And I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today. Stay tuned and bye.